Hope all y'all are having a blessed day. It is a stunningly beautiful day here on the mountain. It got up to about 78 degrees and it has been partly cloudy all day. We had about 10 inches or so of rain last week. It rained every single day, and it did rain briefly last night and early this morning. But today has been beautiful. The chickens loved running around and had a good time, and all the kittens are so far still accounted for, so you know, and they are getting bigger, although I can't get close to them yet. They still run. Even though they see me petting their mother, they still run from me. So that is the life of a barn cat. They're very wary of things that they don't know. So I just hope that they do okay. Today we are here with our next little project, and you can see my last one right behind me, and boy was that a popular video. You folks love that one, and if you haven't seen that, please do go check out my quilting playlist or look at my list of videos. It'll be the last one from this one. And boy, oh boy, was that a fun one. I got that top done in 3 hours. So that was what I called speed quilting. So today we are here with another stuffed potato chip block, and I do believe there will be one more, and that will be it. That will make an even number of blocks 12. So I'm running low on the jelly roll strips, and I don't want to end on an odd number, so we're going to end on an even number. So it will either be 12 or 14 blocks depending on how much more jelly roll strips I have. And today I took the liberty of doing the 4-inch block, and here are my thoughts on it. I'm calling this one ducks in a row, and they are wonky ducks in a row. They're not straight at all. And I will tell you that I prefer what we're going to be doing with the 8-inch block, and that will be using the dark in the large triangles, and then using the dark triangles here and the white here. I think that will be much more striking. So this is the 4-inch block, and I have it is foundation piece, and I've got the pieces right here. The 4-inch block fit on one page, so this was one unit that went together like this for the 4-inch block, but it wouldn't fit on the paper for the 8-inch, so I split it into two units. So you do this unit, and then sew those two together, and then you just have the outer triangles. You will find the pattern listed down below, and it will take you to my coffee shop, and it is free, so you'll just add it to your cart and check out, and it will be yours. I would invite you to look at my memberships over there. I've got several, and they're quite affordable. You will get exclusive access to patterns that I create just for you, just for my coffee subscribers. And there is a lot of information in my shop. There's a lot of patterns, there's a lot of quilts, there's crocheted items, there's woven items, there's all sorts of things in my shop. And as one of the top 3 tiers, you will get 20% off. Top 3 or top 2? You have to look at the membership, it tells you, but you would get 20% off my shop all the time just for being a subscriber. And I also invite you to come on over and join us on Discord. We're having a fun time, and I'm getting to know several of you, and I would love to get to know more of my YouTube subscribers, and I would love to see what you are working on. If you have questions, you can ask me. If you want to share your projects with me, I'd love to see them. And if you have problems with vintage machines or you need assistance with them, you can hit me up there too. Members of my top tiers over on Coffee, you will basically get 24/7 access to me. I'm available for you anytime, even if it's just to talk about God, or if it's to talk about a pattern you're confused about, anything at all, I'm there for you, and I would love to get to know you. To start, we are going to take our ruler and our tracing wheel, and if you don't know what this is, or if you don't have one, I have added links down in my description box to items that I find very, very useful over in Amazon. If it has a good price, I add it to the list there. So if you look down into my description box below the video, you will find links to Amazon on all the items that I do use on a regular basis. We're going to take our tracing wheel and we are going to use our tracing wheel to perforate our pattern so that you can fold it easily. Okay, that helps in trimming all of the pieces. There we go. So we just go over every line. We don't need to go over the outside lines, obviously, but all of the pattern pieces, and it really helps you to be able to see. And you can see all the lines here. So that just makes it much easier to do your piecing. This here is the beginning. This is where I'm starting anyway. You can't start from this end here. It won't work. So you have to start down this way or down here. So it's going to be a dark one here, and then 2 lights, and then another dark, and 2 more lights, a dark, 2 more lights, etc. And we're going to end with a dark. I'm going to be using these 2 fabrics, and I am just going to cut them. We'll start with this small piece here, is about here. We are going to start by putting this right side up. I like to fold my perforated pieces. You can also use the sharp end of this ruler. And the reason I do that is because it helps me line up all my pieces. If I can fold this out of the way and trim down the seam allowance, because then I can line up my side pieces. Okay, so now when I hold this up, I know that I have to go 1/4 of an inch, and I can just line up my white fabric with this. And I'm holding it up to the light, and I'm seeing that it moved. Let me get a light, so now you can see those lines. So I'm going to take the white triangle right here, and I'm going to line it up just like that. And it really does help a lot. Okay, so there's that piece, and now I need to cut some of this here white. And this is a woven fabric. And when you hear fabric that says woven or homespun, what they're referring to is this is a printed, obviously it's a woven fabric, but it's printed. The design on it is printed. Woven or homespun refers to the fact that the pattern that is on this fabric is made with different color threads. So this is woven on the loom into this black lines here. So that's what that means. So it doesn't have a right or wrong side. Okay, so I know that this is going to be large enough. So I am just gonna sew. Okay, and I'm going to finger press this. Okay, and now we're going to trim it. And there is waste with foundation paper piecing, but that's okay. And if you're using this ruler, don't cut with the thin end. Put the thick end on the edge of and use that. And now I can also cut this too. And if it's the outside edge, you don't have to worry about it. If it's over, that's fine. Okay, but there is our first piece, and now we're going to do the second piece. And that should be, yes, that's more than enough. And if you're not sure if it's going to check, I know that I have the perforated line right there. And if I fold back the seam allowance, it certainly does cover the whole piece. So that is good enough. There is our first triangle unit. And now we're going to do the next one. And I am just going to cut myself a strip that will be wide enough. And get the large piece of fabric out of my way. That's oversized, but that's perfectly okay. And because we've trimmed all of this, we know that this is where we need to sew, and that more than covers the fabric. So we just line up these here edges and sew. And you can overshoot these lines, it's not a problem. And now to make it easier to do these side triangles, we are going to fold back our pattern and trim this off. I'll make sure that this is also in the list below. I got 2 of them in the package that I got 2 of these. These are called Add a Quarter Plus, and it is a 6-inch ruler, and there was also, I think, a 12-inch ruler. So it really is nice. It has a lip right here that gets stuck on this paper. See that? It gets stuck on it, so it makes trimming down your seam allowance much easier. Can trim this. All right. And if you're using a directional fabric, you can certainly fussy cut and put them together. I'm not going to. There is our first piece, and that will get sewn so we can start with the next piece. Okay, I wanted to come back and let you know that I had sewed this whole piece together, and then I realized, no, that doesn't work. When I printed out my pattern, EQ decided that it was going to change the colors on me. So this is correct. So I've marked it, and I will mark it on the pattern that this should be black and this should be white. So we are starting again. There are some days when you just not come anywhere near your sewing machine, and today is one of them. So that will fit quite nicely. And I'm going to trim it so I know where to put my triangles. Okay, now we need another piece, and that should do it. Now we're going to do the next triangle. And how big does it need to be? It needs to be about like this. Is that going to cover? Yep. So I'm just going to mark these line and open it. Okie doke, there is that. That will fit there. It'll fit there too if I want to. The house is in the right orientation. Trim. And now we need the white pieces, and I don't think those are going to be big enough, so I'm cutting new ones. Okay, that will cover. And now we need one more black triangle. All right, now we will sew these 2 pieces together like so. And I am going to match up the corners. All right, there is our ducks all in a row. And now we just need the black outer triangles. And I've got them right here. There's that piece. This piece. You can pin this on here if you like, but I am okay with it, and I'm going to trim this seam allowance off so I know where I need to be. We are matching up this point right here to that point right there. So you can use a pin to poke through here. All right, so those are matching. That should be matching. That be matching. There we go. That half, and now we're doing the same thing on this side. There is our 8.5 inch block. I am going to go give this a good iron. I'm going to tear all the paper off, and I'm going to trim it down to 8.5 inches. All right, here is our trimmed block. We are going to sew on our potato chip pieces right now. And as always, the potato chip pieces are, and the 4-inch block gets 2 rounds of potato chips. But the 8.5 inch block only gets 1 round of Okay, we do a quick finger press, flip it around, and do the other piece. The 3-piece section down the side. Finger press, and now we're sewing on the last piece, and then we can wrap this up. Alrighty, let me go give this an iron and we will wrap this up. All right, here is our 4.5-inch block, and to me, using the white and the large triangles makes it kind of washed out. It's kind of difficult to see. So I much prefer the 8-inch block that has the black on the outside, and I am enjoying this one. I love it. It's nice and striking. That is block number 11 in our stuffed potato chip series. And again, I think there will be at least one more block. I do want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I kindly ask that you go down below and hit that little subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up, and of course ring that bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And please do consider coming on over to Ko-fi. You have to go over there to download your pattern, which will be down in the description box, and do consider coming on over to Discord as well. I would love to get to know you all a little better. So I hope you have a very, very blessed day, a very, very blessed week ahead. I will see you right back here at 70 Acres Studio with our next little project. Not sure when, not sure what, but it'll be something, and I look forward to seeing you then. Take care of yourselves. I love you all very, very much. God bless.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy.